Well, no doubt there'd be weeks on end when 24 hours in a day wouldn't be enough for my next guest, combining both his business and also his vast interest in harness racing. I caught up with Aaron Goadsby to have a chat about both. Well, Aaron, going by your busy schedule, 24 hours in a day is just about enough.
Yeah, it always keeps us busy. We're pretty full on with work and the horses, typically up 5 a.m. in the morning, and then by the time the day ends it can be 8, 9 o'clock, pending horses or pending work and pending what time of the year and what's going on.
Let's have a talk about the business interests first. As far as the delivery business, we've got Allied Express with the big red A, Colin McDowell, of course. Now we've got Goadsby with the big gold G as far as the delivery business is concerned.
Yeah, obviously Colin's got very big business and has done for a long time, and the business I've got now, it's been going 30 years. I've been involved the last 18 and probably haven't got as many vehicles as Colin, but yeah, we're busy enough with what we got.
And Aaron, you started out just as a junior driver?
Yeah, started as a driver there 18 years ago, and then sort of climbed the ranks, and then bought in a share, then bought in another share, and then things got busy, and then 2 years ago I bought the former owner out outright, and now I've got it all myself and the headaches that go with it.
But you certainly have been very helpful as far as putting people into employment, because you've got over 60 drivers.
Yeah, we've got 60 people on the books, and about that in vehicles as well. We maxed out at about 99 when we were real busy. They were very big days, and it was full on 24 hours a day, but like everything in the horses, you can't do it without good staff, and I've got good staff in what we do, and everyone's got a role to play and everyone does it well, which then helps me to juggle both roles that I've got in the two businesses.
So how did the interest in harness racing come about, and how did it all unfold?
Started back in year 2000. Me and a couple of mates, we leased a horse from down the Riverina, and we give it to Rod Mercier to train, and Charlie Camilleri's Rod's uncle, and I sort of ended up going there every afternoon after work, and that's where it clicked, and sort of stayed there with Charlie for 20 years and met a lot of good people through Charlie, and Charlie was a good man, and a lot of respect in the industry, and I think that's flowed on.
So like the delivery business, started out with a few drivers, you started out with a few horses in harness racing, and you certainly built up the numbers.
Yeah, I think I drove Charlie mad at the start, and plenty of stories. God bless him that he can't tell us all now, but yeah, we're a lot of stories, and yeah, started off small and now we're growing and continues to grow, and yeah, busy in both worlds.
You've never dabbled in driving as far as the harness horses are concerned?
No, I just stick to the training side. I self-confess not a good driver, but yeah, I get myself out of trouble at home, and that's enough to keep us going.
Thankfully you're a good driver on the roads.
Yeah, most of the time.
You've had a lot of success with Guy Chappell, more recently with Robbie Morris and Josh Gallagher.
Yeah, it's sort of when I had one or two in work, Guy was the mainstay driving most, and we used to travel down to here or Tamworth or Narrabri or wherever it's needed, and we had a good strike rate there for a while, and like I said, you get better horses and more horses, you need more drivers, and yeah, Robbie and Josh have done a good job for me probably the last 18 months, 2 years.
You've had a wonderful success rate with horses from New Zealand. You've either got a very keen eye yourself, or you've got a very strong base back in New Zealand.
Yeah, got a good association with a lot of people over there. I trained there for 12 months with Mark Jones, and 6 months before that I was training his horses in his name, sort of supervisory role. So a lot of good contacts over there. We had a horse go over to the Jewels, Lulu Le Mans, and met a lot of good people, and that continues. And when we look for a horse, I've got sort of 4 to 5 people that I contact and get their opinion before we purchase.
Aaron, you've started to branch out more with syndications, in particular with Brendan Micallef, very successful syndicator. That certainly seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in. I was always anti it, that people would say, oh, I own this horse or I own this champion galloper, but they'd only own a hair on the tail. But I think now it's the way to go. People can have small shares in lots of horses versus us, a large ownership with only one horse. They can spread their costs, spread their enthusiasm, and that flows on to their mates, who then can get in the sport and buy in at relatively small share and get involved and see what it's all about.
Yeah, it's certainly a way to increase harness racing's involvement.
Oh, for sure. I've got a lot of people. I went to Newcastle last night with one, and I got bailed up by a syndicate interested in buying a share in the next one, and with a bit of success we've had lately, we've got more and more people sort of tapping on the shoulder going, next time you get one, don't be afraid to give us a call.
You're also in the business of pre-training for the galloping industry.
Yeah, we've had a few pre-trainers roll through. We've got the facilities there, and I think we're only one shed off finishing sort of what I want to do at home, and we've got all the facilities. We've got the swimming hole, we've got the Got the treadmill, we got the walker, plus we got the 2 tracks. So it suits the gallopers, and Daryl, who's my foreman, he does a very good job and can do everything, and he's got the association through his days in the gallop, so it sort of flows on. He gets on and rides them, and my business side of things, it gels well.
Yeah, do you enjoy that involvement with the harness horses and the thoroughbred horses? Gives you a different perspective with each?
It gives you an appreciation where the thoroughbred side of things, they don't take a lot of work and they're more highly strung, where the standard breds, as we sort of know, a bit more calmer, but they gel well and mix in together, and it's a good experience for people also that work for me, having the knowledge of 2 codes if they ever want to go down that path in the future.
Aaron, you're here tonight with Remy Brown, a very talented 3-year-old filly, still with Queensland campaign in mind?
Yeah, that was a good run tonight. She got beat 6 metres in 52, nowhere to go. Josh said she was still full of running, so that'll top her off nice. I think the run down here in the open mares and the fact that she's got the form at Newcastle in the time, it's very hard for them to ignore her getting a start up there in 2 weeks.
Wonderful memories with Cara Truffle.
Yeah, she was great to me. She, I suppose, put me on the map as a trainer. She won 6 races here, a couple of Group 3s, like you mentioned earlier, and last start was in the Ladyship Mile, which was a big thrill. We led the Ladyship Mile to the winning post, so it's always something that I'll remember. And yeah, she was a very good mare to me.
Of course, Guy Chappell had that wonderful association with her.
Yeah, we started at Bankstown in a 3-year-old maiden and went right through to Ladyship Mile together. So yeah, very good ride.
Yeah, 2 Group 3 victories here at Club Menangle, so she was always there in the top echelon.
Yeah, we never seen the best of her. 40 starts, I think she won 18 and about 18 placings, so she was never far from the money. And if she was sound and I sort of knew what I knew now and longevity, she would have been a top mare for a long time.
Aaron, I love the old movies. Humphrey Bogart, Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne, James Cagney, and you're here tonight with James Cagney. It's a wonderful story how the New Zealanders seem to name horses after iconic football players, sporting heroes, and movie stars.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, James Cagney, Christian Cullen. There's thousands of names that come to, Martina H in the Trotters. They do name him well, and he was a cheap buy, recommended by Mark Jones, and he sort of repaid what we paid for him already. And the commentators and the older generation, I suppose, older than me, appreciate his name, and yeah, we're getting a good thrill out of it, and new owners involved through the syndication, so yeah, they're all having a good time.
What's Yankee Doodle Dandy if you ever get a chance with James Cagney? Absolutely outstanding. So what's the plans for this particular fellow? Is this testing the water here at Club Menangle tonight?
Yeah, test the water for sure. He's still eligible for a lot easier races, but he came down on the Remy boat, float, train, whatever you want to call it tonight. Yeah, we'll see how he goes here, but I think in time he'll measure up. He is high speed, and we can drive him cold and pull him out at the top of the lane. He'll let down good.
Well, it's been good to catch up with you. Good luck moving forward, particularly with Remy Brown in Queensland.
Righto, thanks for your time.